Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 46 of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, John, and we have...
Papi Plátano.
There he is. And we have...
I am the notorious one. I am Dom. Boom.
Got it. And happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a great holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. But we are back at it, the It Doesn't Matter podcast. Back at it after a brief hiatus. And we're here to discuss a couple of shows, a pair of shows, head-to-head versus each other, one-on-one with the other one. WWF Monday Night Raw, January 4th, 1999 versus the Juggernaut. WCW Monday Night Nitro, Daddy. So that's what we got going on, and we have the lineup here. Dom, what do we have going on for this head-to-head action?
Like my man John said, we're going to talk about January 4th, 1999. If you guys don't know what this is, you don't have to Google it because we're going to tell you. On the Nitro side of things, you have Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the main event going against Kevin Nash for the World Heavyweight Championship, also known as the Finger Poke of Doom.
Spoiler alert.
On the Monday Night Raw side, in your main event, you have Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mankind, going against the most electrifying man in all entertainment, The Rock, for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. But don't change the channel because it was a taped show. And your former Cactus Jack, Mick Foley in WCW, he won the title. Don't change the channel. That'll put butts in the seats.
Click.
But guess what? Lots of people did change the channel,
I know I did.
and with good reason. Someone get this man a Vlasic pickle.
Pause. But anyways, so today we're going to go head to head. We're going to compare the Monday Night Wars. And yours truly watched both shows. We have John. He watched the Nitro show. Abel got the Nitro t-shirt on, but don't let him fool you. He watched the Monday Night Raw show, and we're going to go back and forth. We're going head to head.
I was that spy supporting one, but I really watched the other one.
At this time, Nitro is 3 hours long.
Tres.
Raw, 2 hours taped.
Dos. Well, it would be 1 week would be live, 1 week would be taped.
Yes.
So
All right, but
this week was taped.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna kick it off with Nitro. Nitro kicks off in the Georgia Dome, home of the Atlanta Falcons, home of Bill Goldberg, and they were sold out in the rafters. It was 40,000 people.
Holds more, bud.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were there when it had 70,000.
Ah, yes.
Yes, you were. WrestleMania season is approaching.
A great arena.
But anyways, the show kicks off with a video package of Goldberg and Kevin Nash at Starrcade 1998. And then that's when the streak ended. That's when Scott Hall came up with the taped
Cattle
up
prod.
taser.
Yeah.
Cattle prod. Jackknife 1, 2, 3. Kevin Nash is your champ.
Yeah.
So this episode of Nitro, you were finally gonna get that rematch in Atlanta. So Nitro kicks off with the Nitro girls dancing in the ring. You got Tony Schiavone, you got Mike Tenay, and you got Larry Zbyszko. And then they show the Nitro party. And we seen a previous
Can you imagine?
reporter back in the day, Scott Dunlap, interviewing the people.
We got a bunch of losers in this party section, this party suite in the Georgia Dome. And it's like, you know what? I call them a bunch of losers. They're our age.
Seriously.
This is not no college party at Daly's place or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just a bunch of dudes who won a contest, and they were shoved into an executive suite, and they were told, act as crazy as effing possible while you're on camera.
Yeah.
And, this was January 4th, 1999. No social media, no online, no Wi-Fi, none of that stuff. You just had to be on TV and hope your friends in Chicago, like that guy was trying to shout out all evening long. And that's what it was. The Nitro party, the Nitro suite giveaway. And there was not Scott Dunlap, but he might as well have been.
All right, so they showed a video package of Eric Bischoff losing the previous week against Ric Flair to become the new owner of WCW.
See, let me interject just for a moment. Now, this is a very why we're covering this show because it's a important show in history, the January 4th WCW Nitro, and they're showing highlight clips from Starrcade, the big pay-per-view end of the year of 1998. I don't know this, but isn't there another Nitro between that and this show?
I believe there was 1 or 2 before.
Because I mean, Starrcade would have been on a Sunday.
It was 1.
Unless they just.
This is 2 weeks later.
Unless they did that the recap Best of Nitro thing.
Yeah.
They could have done that because one year the Best of Nitro was just the Best of Hulk Hogan. It was so dumb. It's like, we're going to see some great Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero action. It's all Hulk Hogan matches. Him and Bubba Rogers. Him and, so-and-so. So maybe that was the case. Maybe they did have a Best of Nitro after Starrcade, because of the holidays. And this might have been their first show back live in front of people. So
yeah, when I was watching WCW, I do remember them having the best ofs. So I mean, that's probably what happened with Raw. They just kept going every week, new content. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So your opening match after maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes of promos and whatnot.
Oh, so it was Monday Night Raw.
Well,
I'm trying to preview it right now.
The opening match for Monday Night Raw is much better than this opening match.
Well,
the opening match for Monday Nitro 1999, you have Glacier going against a bald Hugh Morris with Jimmy Hart. And this match is pretty short. And Hugh Morris got the win in 2 minutes and 46 seconds. This is how you kick off the new year of WWE Monday Nitro. John, what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, the show kicked off with the Nitro Girls, right? And
yes.
You know what? You want to talk about ideas that you would steal and bring back?
I hope Mr. Khan.
The Dynamite Girls.
Hey.
No, I thought the Nitro Girls was it was different. It was a good idea, I thought. And, there's a story that the Nitro Girls, took ring time away from other wrestlers because they had to practice their routine in the ring. Why couldn't they just have another ring backstage that they could practice their Nitro Girl routine in? That's just one thought.
I can't just go in the locker room and go dance.
Right.
Like that.
That's just one story.
Well, you got to remember, too, the egos back then with the wrestlers aren't what they are now. Well, they probably still are. A few old school guys, but a couple of the young guys, come on.
They're all punks.
Yeah.
All right? They're all punks. But for this opening match...
Listen, young buck.
This opening match for Nitro, Glacier... It's okay. So it's 1999 now, and Glacier, he was starting to get promos and pushes in '96. Finally debuted in '97 or so. This is over a year or so later, and it's he still has his old music. The sounded like Taz's ECW music.
Yeah.
I like that music, and there's Hugh Morris, very funny Hugh Morris, and He had his own unique theme music, and all WCW theme songs were crappy, but at least credit to the sound guy for remembering which crappy song went with which crappy wrestler.
Time out. Rey Mysterio had the best WCW theme music.
What about the Wolfpack? That shit was hot.
I don't count them. Because they're main,
Here we go.
they're main events.
No, they're good.
I'm talking about guys that weren't main event guys right away.
What about Chris Jericho?
He never was a main event guy in WCW.
So was Rey Mysterio.
He wasn't.
No, he
Kidman
never
had cool music too.
Kidman was cool.
A lot of psychoses.
He had the best woman.
Who?
Kidman.
Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman.
Yeah.
Anyway, this opening match, very brief, and Hugh Morris came out with a shaved head, a new look, managed by Jimmy Hart. It's so old and antiquated, but he won with the No Laughing Matter, a top rope moonsault, and that was the opening match.
Good job, baby. Good job, baby.
But it was to be followed up by something that was not a match.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
I am holding that thought.
We're going to go to Raw side now.
Really?
Wait, hold on.
Raw wasn't even on yet.
Wait, it wasn't on, but we going. This is our show. It doesn't matter.
No.
This is what we do.
You should go 8 to 9 Nitro, 9 to 11 Raw, because they were head to head then.
Exactly.
Fine, all right, that's what we want to do.
We're going
We'll
to do chronological order.
Because then you have the last hour of Nitro unopposed, and then of course,
Don't change it. Fine.
Kevin Nash
Yeah.
and Hogan would win the.
I would hate to watch that.
Gonna mess Dom up live. Look, he's changing his paper.
Wow, I got to change my paper.
You don't have to. We can do it the way you have.
No. All right. I don't have a camera. I don't know the timestamps and all that stuff like that. But here we go. So after this, we have They show Ric Flair challenging Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
And then,
oh man, if you knew the future of this feud
Oh boy.
and where it would go. Oh my God, yes. Go ahead, Dom. Sorry.
I don't know, my note says, what, Flair is ripping up $100 bills like nothing?
Still does that to today.
I know. I he wish he had them $100 bills right now.
Ooh-wee.
Now he put all his money into mushrooms.
Shoot.
That's what Woo Energy is based off of. Mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah. It's a mushroom-based formula. Woo.
So after this, we see,
So he's a fun guy.
yes, guy. So we see Flair pulling up. Is this when we see? Yeah, we see Flair pulling up with Arn Anderson, Reed Flair, David Flair, and young Ashley Flair, also known as Charlotte.
Good luck.
Arn Anderson, 25 years old in this at this time.
Seriously.
Wait, what?
Seriously.
Arn Anderson looked 55 when he was 22. You know, so what he showed. Arn Anderson came out of the limo looking like a badass, but you know, it's like, God, how old are you, Arn? How old are you, Rick? Anyway,
So I watched the show.
holy shit! Why? Why was that necessary?
All right.
Putting on Abel on permanent mute. There you go.
So on my
Cough
on my notes, I watched the show a while ago.
Ah!
It says Bischoff got in a limo and seeing Chris Benoit and screamed for his life. That's what I have in my notes. Like, John, you gotta refresh me on that one.
Wait, what? Say that again.
Bischoff got in a limo and seen Benoit and he screamed for his life. Also with the Horsemen.
Oh my goodness.
I wrote this. I watched this episode on December 13th. So
Notes are a little old for Tom.
Oh boy.
So you gotta refresh my memory.
Well, what I can tell you about this segment is that, yes, so Ric Flair, just as he said, Ric Flair came out in the limo with his family and Arn Anderson. They're all walking, back from, the loading dock toward the ring. And his family, everyone should be happy. He won, actually, I don't know. No, didn't. I can't remember.
Nobody was happy.
Okay.
Nobody was
Everyone has a boo-hoo face, as Taz would say. Everyone's just walking out. They're sad. It's like, aren't you, in my mind, I'm watching as a viewer, I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be happy? This is Flair's moment.
Yeah,
He's going to become the president.
He came out with his family and
Yeah.
he came out with the Horsemen, which was Mongo, Dean Malenko, Benoit, and Arn Anderson.
And Mongo,
I know.
God bless Mongo, his last match in WCW would be in March of 1999. His career would be in WCW would be over very shortly. Maybe that's why he was sad.
And Dean Malenko, he came out walking with
Yeah.
a crutch.
He got hurt on a house show, a legit shoot injury. But they all came to the ring, and then they called out Eric Bischoff.
Yep.
And Eric Bischoff had to transfer, the power of presidency to Ric Flair. And then Ric Flair,
His first action was having Eric Bischoff become an announcer with Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone, and
Schiavone.
Bischoff would go on commentary. We're going to future cast a little bit. He would be... He would just be a mute the entire show until the end of Nitro. And it would seem like a big ploy the entire time.
All right, so to get back to that segment, they showed a video package of Eric Bischoff firing Pee Wee Randy Anderson, the referee.
Ugh.
That's the dude who had cancer.
That was so...
Flair gave him his job back.
So fucked up.
Can you tell your dad that he's still fired? Good job. So good.
R.I.P. Pee Wee.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And Ric Flair's last order, he booked himself against Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham.
Oh my God.
But David Flair wants to be his partner. Flair said he's not ready. Arn said he knows what he's doing. So I sold out Rick and David versus Hennig and Barry.
Arn Anderson.
All right.
Arn Anderson is like, don't worry, he's good. It's like, the fuck do you know, Arn?
Yeah. Jeez.
Like, yeah, it was supposed to come off like kind of like slick and cool, but it came out in retrospect because we all know David Flair is not a good wrestler in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of like, what the hell?
He wasn't ready for the big time.
Was he
at that
better
point.
than Reed?
And then he's still breathing, and you know that you know how David Flair's career didn't turn out well. So it's like you're watching this in retrospect, you're like, oh God, no, please God, no. It's like watching the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan giving Chris Benoit his wife on air.
Literally. He literally did.
Till death do us part.
I respect you, Booker Man.
Yeah.
So Bischoff looked thrilled to be on the announcing team. Don't you say, John?
He was He was skinny.
He had his feet up.
Was he tan?
No. Dyed his hair.
Yeah, it was dyed.
No.
All right, so our next match for Nitro, it was Booker T going against Emery Hale.
Yeah, Emery Hale.
This match went 59 seconds.
Ooh-wee. And there's a couple of botches in there.
Booker said he's not stopping until he's the number one contender. He whooped that man, and that was it.
Yeah, did you guys bother looking up Emery Hale at all?
No.
Emery Hale, who died at 36
Jesus.
a couple of years later due to, I think, kidney failure.
Ooh.
Ouch. But he was brought in by Jimmy Hart because he was a big dude. He was a big statured guy. He was brought in to be a potential guy for Hogan to run over. But that's where he came from, and he unfortunately had a short life and a short career, but he was just amongst a bunch of jobbers that they brought in to feed to Hulk Hogan. But his career wasn't meant to be, Emery Hale. But Booker T looked like a boss out there, so good for
Sucker.
Booker T.
All right, so our next match, I got excited for this because my man, Norman Smiley,
Oh, yeah. He reminded me of a dude I knew in high school.
with the big wiggle, going against Chavo Guerrero Jr. with Pepe. If you guys don't know who Pepe is, Pepe's the horse that's on the stick.
Enough said.
Yeah.
So this match, Norman was just determined to do the big wiggle. Chavo slipped through the ropes. Chavo wins with a roll up. After the match, Smiley attacks him. And that's it. That match went 4 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah.
But another match you're watching back, like at the time, you'd be like, "Oh, you might care about those guys," or you'd be like me, you might not care about those guys. But I saw it, I was like, "Hey, look, they're two trainers of future stars. It's the NXT trainer Norman Smiley and a former Tough Enough coach Chavo Guerrero."
And he's doing all these Hollywood stunt movies now. He
is
was
the
in
guy.
The Iron Claw.
He's
He's in there.
In Glow. He was
Glow.
the trainer for Glow.
and he has his own album on iTunes. We discussed this once before.
I believe so.
All right, John. Watching this show, coming from Starrcade '98, being a fan, are you excited for what you've seen so far? Probably within the first half hour of the show.
Not at all. But this was the case at the time. You knew Nitro was unopposed the first hour, unless you're Dom's notes. But you know what? You wouldn't put anything marquee on there anyway. You would just put stuff on there to kill time, and that's what they did. They put on everything that we've talked about so far, just there to kill time. And sometimes wrestling, you just need those preliminary stuff. You're waiting for the big stuff, and the stuff easy for me to say, the stuff to come on Nitro toward the later part of the night. I could see it didn't. Maybe it wasn't executed well, but by design, it was supposed to build up to a bigger event toward the end of Nitro. So as it was fine. It was just a fine opening hour unopposed.
So
to Raw.
I'm trying to remember, when did they started putting the cruiserweights in the first? Was it the first hour they did it at one point?
That was like in '97 time.
Okay.
'Cause your first match was fucking Glacier right here.
Yeah, because they weren't. Were they going opposed at that time when they were putting out the cruiserweights?
Depends on the day.
Well, the first Nitro was unopposed due to the dog show.
Stupid. I fucking hate that.
I'm not sure if they went head to head or they were like 8 and then 9. I think they were 8 and then 9, but I could be wrong on that. But they didn't start going head to head until a little while later. But now they're fully vested into it. 83 weeks, right?
Yep.
They were still fighting for supremacy at this point because the whole Austin McMahon thing happened last April. So Nitro's streak was over, and they're just reaching for it to come back. That's right.
All right, so our next match, we finally got some NWO action. Abel, we finally got some NWO action. You want to talk about execution? We got Chris Benoit
Oh, no.
going against
A whore.
Horace Hogan.
Oh, man.
Let me see Abel's reaction.
So what?
Hold on, John, but during the match, did you see there was a sign that said "Die Mongo Die"?
Oh my God.
Mongo was the name that Chris was going to give his child.
What, manga?
Really?
Yeah. Instead, they said Daniel, and they killed him anyway.
Anyways,
Jesus fucking.
Cool Ray.
woo! But Benoit won with the crossface. He won in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. At this time, they were pushing Horace Hogan. John, what happened to Horace?
See, watching that, that's the exact thought that went into my mind. You see a lot of wrestlers nowadays, like the Ryback, or even like Curtis Axel or whoever. they're in wrestling, they got fired. They either disappear, like Ryback and Curtis Axel, or they keep wrestling on the indie scene, make their name, make their way to come back. Jinder Mahal built his body back, became WWE champion. Drew McIntyre built his career back by doing both things, by having killer matches and having a killer bod. And he came back, and he's a big star now. And Jinder Mahal, well, he had his moment in the sun. Well, too much because he's a brown-skinned man. But what happened to Horace Hogan? Hey, he was related to the Hulkster, and that's why he's there. That's what he's doing.
That's his nephew, right?
Yeah.
The resemblance is uncanny.
They're both bald.
Yeah. So Horace Hogan, nepotism.
All right, so we already have 4 matches in Nitro already.
Yeah.
And the total combined time of the matches like 13 minutes roughly.
That will never make it in Dynamite.
So we're pushing at least an hour with this show with all the vignettes and all the other shit going on. So I'm gonna say what I have right here in my notes, and then after this I'm gonna take it to Raw. So they show Goldberg backstage with the hold on.
Wait, what's that?
Wait, did I what the fuck did I miss?
Oh,
okay.
Breaking news,
So,
people.
Goldberg was backstage. The cops are back there as well. The cops are saying they're having a warrant for Goldberg's arrest. Goldberg cut the best promo of how he supports the cops, the children, everyone else. So, as Goldberg's pissed off, they finally get him in the back. And as Goldberg's walking to the cop car, you see Hollywood Hogan walk in. And then you see Kevin Nash come outside saying, what's going on? He has a match with him and Goldberg.
Hogan.
And then Hogan just in the background just cracking up.
Hogan, what a piece of shit. Still. I don't know what happened, brother. I'll see you in the ring. Man, Hogan. How prime Hogan, man.
It was crazy. Everybody knows the finish of both shows, but I don't remember everything between. So watching this, like, oh, really?
Well,
so this shit had me hooked. Like, okay, what's fucking gonna happen? Next thing you know.
I mean, the story of Nitro, watching it as I did, and watching it as you did a while ago, it was a show-long storyline, and you can kind of appreciate that. Maybe what could they have changed booking-wise? Could they have done more? Absolutely. Could they have not relied so much on that BS main event to come for Nitro? Yeah, and there's so many possibilities. But as a fan at that time, I love fantasy booking WCW. And for a time, it wasn't fun booking the WWF or E because it's kind of like they were doing things right. They were doing things you wanted to see happen.
Yep.
But Nitro was so messed up. WCW was so messed up at the time. I personally love fantasy booking because here's what I would do because they didn't do anything any fan wanted. You know, they just try to surprise you and do random things and go back to the well. And that's what they would do, as we'll find out. But I don't know.
All right, so watching that first hour of Nitro, what would you change?
What would I change about the first hour of Nitro?
Yes.
For what they were doing at that time, I mean, you could do lots of things, but I wouldn't change that first hour of Nitro. I think for what they did, for what they were planning to do, it went off without a hitch. You know, they had matches. I mean, arguably at that time, they always had short matches. They weren't into long matches at that time. So having, 3 matches? 3 or 4 matches?
4 matches.
For whatever length they were, you know, and having a bunch of promo packages, considering they had a week off for the best of show, you know what? That was a fine first hour of Nitro.
This is what you call Crash TV. It was more about the drama outside the ring than what's in the ring itself.
Yeah. For its time, it was a perfectly fine, unopposed hour 1 of Nitro. That's what I think.
All right, so now we're about to go to Monday Night Raw. Abel, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so Raw kicks off with a video package of HBK career, Shawn Michaels' career.
Tell me a lie.
Then he sweet chin music, Vince McMahon. Vince comes out, turn that video off, turn that video off. He comes out with the corporation of The Rock, Shane McMahon, Jerry Briscoe, Pat Patterson, Ken Shamrock, Test, and the Big Boss Man. And Kane, he had a sign on his back saying Briscoe's Body Shop. That's how you kick off Monday Night Raw. Shawn Michaels is the sheriff, and he's in town. and he comes out with DX. DX is his backup. And him and Sean and Vince is going back and forth. Sean says Vince can't fire him as commissioner. The only way he can be commissioner if he re-signed, and he will never do that. He said, Sean, that is, pronouns, pal, that HBK said that he has control over Vince, and at the 99 Royal Rumble, Stone Cold will be number 1.
Well, he said the only reason he has control over Vince because when he entered himself into the Royal Rumble, he became a wrestler. So now
he changed that up.
He can control Vince.
So Sean's gonna be Austin's gonna be number 1, and Vince, you're gonna be number 2. And by the end of the night, Vince, you will get a Stone Cold surprise.
Now, why was Vince number 2? Was it that video package that explained it, right?
Basically,
because he said, "Oh, I guess I picked number 30, but I really wish I could have been in the ring with you, Austin, at number 2." So, all right, that's what you want. Here you go, buddy.
I like I forgot who said it. I'm not sure it was Michael Cole or if it was the King. He was like, "Oh, I guess you got to train a little more, get that cardio up." Basically,
yeah, that was King.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Monday Night Raw came from Worcester, Massachusetts, and it had 10,668 people.
Woo, stop.
And that's how it kicked off. But the first match of the night, it was your Intercontinental Champion, also half of the Tag Team Champions with Big Boss Man. It's Ken Shamrock, and he's going against the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman.
Yes.
The match, it is what it was. Dan Severn, you guys remember him?
Yes.
He came out with a neck brace down to the ring, and Shamrock was talking shit to Severn. Severn got on the apron. Shamrock knocks him out. Then Billy Gunn comes out of nowhere, hits the Famouser on Ken Shamrock, and Blackman with the win. And then this match only went 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah, the reason why Severn and came down, I guess he got beat up by Shamrock and like the corporation, I guess, a couple weeks ago. And it harkens back to their UFC days from all the rivalries back from the Ultimate Fighter. So, I mean, I didn't really know of Dan Severn until like later on in my life. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like going back on it, it's like, who is Dan Severn? And then I looked him up. I'm like, okay, former NCAA champion, NWA champion. So many accolades. It's just like, okay, he's established. I understand who he was now. But back then, as a kid, I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, it's the characters that grab you in your younger age. He just was like a regular dude that just can kick your ass. Sure. Granted, Shamrock could do it too, but something about him, he had more charisma about him. Just like when we seen Steve Blackman come out the ring, come out the crowd to help Vader out. Yeah, Vader just on top of him protecting him. Same thing. Yeah, like if you really like look at it, like the three badasses in that locker room are right there. There you go. But only one has that charisma where you're like, that's the guy I want to come back and watch. And it's Shamrock. It's crazy. Meanwhile, the other two probably kick Shamrock's ass.
I think Hardcore Holly has a couple words for you, pal.
And I'll beat him.
So after this, you see Billy Gunn and Shamrock backstage fighting, and the refs had to pull them apart. Yeah. So after this, we see Mankind come down to the ring. They show what happened 2 weeks ago against Shane McMahon, and he gave Pat Patterson the mandible claw on his testicles.
You know, Pat was loving it all day.
I wrote, Pat probably liked that shit.
He said, do it to me again. Do it to me again.
But at this time, Foley said he wants a title shot against The Rock at the Rumble, and he calls out Vince or his dad. Remember back in the day, he used to call Vince Dad.
Thank you.
Vince says it's going to be Triple H versus Mankind with Shane as a special ref. The winner goes to the Royal Rumble. That's basically it. You want to go to the Nitro side? Or you got something you want to say about this?
I don't. No. Raw is all able, really.
Y'all shot. My phone's going off.
All right. No, that pretty much explained everything that needed to be done. So.
Nitro, Raw, what you want me to do?
Let's go to Nitro. Let's see what's going on that side.
This is the first quarter of Nitro to go against Raw, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So here we go.
Let's see what they got going on the other.
Let's see what Nitro's got cooking.
In the other canal.
So after this,
we
have, let's see,
WCW.
Our next match is
TNT.
we have Perry Saturn coming out with a red bandana like Tupac, going against Chris Jericho with Ralphus.
Oh man,
not sure why they still don't use Jericho's old theme song in this show, but
the
yeah,
it was a ripoff of a Pearl Jam.
Yes,
both of Jericho's theme were Pearl Jam ripoffs. But they used a version of Jericho's WWF theme that was like unreleased or his very first version. So I appreciate that little nod to that. Like, here's a rough cut version of Jericho's theme, you know.
In this version, they had the break the walls down of it.
Yeah, that wasn't happening. Sorry.
But yo, Saturn was nice. Like, how come he didn't get pushed more in WCW?
He wasn't 6'4", 300 pounds.
I mean, I get it. I wouldn't push him either. So hey, I'm not on your side with that one. He's a good hand and all, but I don't see much for him.
Yeah, it seemed like WCW was going back to the olden days where you had to be 6'6", 300 pounds, and
Emery Hale.
Yeah, basically.
But okay, so the Jericho and Saturn match, I was surprised to still see Jericho there.
Jericho didn't make the jump yet.
I know the timeline, but I'm like, he's still there. He's still featured. I thought he'd be like, buried until he left. So him coming out there, still doing the kind of like the wannabe Goldberg gimmick still, even though that thing ended a long time ago.
He already had that squash match with Goldberg by then.
So Jericho's just on his last legs here. He's the lame duck cruiserweight of WCW.
So for my notes for this match, Jericho pulled the ref, and Saturn accidentally took him out. Jericho was getting ready to do the lion tamer, but the ref stopped the match. Clearly, he didn't see Jericho pull him towards Saturn. This match went 8 minutes and 12 seconds. This is your longest match so far.
Yeah, they had some schmoz with Jericho and the referee. They're shooting their own angle, brother, just to give them something to do. So they screwed Saturn.
They show that later.
Yeah, they had a segment later on in the show. So, Jericho reaching for straws.
That's it. So after this, they show Goldberg in the police precinct saying his charges are for aggravating stalking to Miss Elizabeth.
Who said Goldberg had great acting here? Like, they have these segments throughout the show, and we haven't seen all of them yet. But Goldberg, just his attitude, his first defense was like, I do things for the community. I help handicapped children, and I provide newspapers for the people that can't read. Whatever he said. It's kind of like, that has nothing to do with you're a stalker or not.
Yeah.
Great. Listen, great, OJ. Good for you. You're a patron saint of society. Doesn't matter. You're still stalking. You're allegedly stalking someone. So his defense is for, I'm a good person. It's like, doesn't matter.
No, even the most greatest people are the worst people underneath.
So after...
I'm right here.
No, you're... All right.
So after you've seen Goldberg getting interviewed, they show an advertisement for the Natural Girl calendar followed up by the girls dancing.
Oh, yeah, WCW. Can you really
that calendar will still sell.
Yeah.
Then they show a Nitro party and showing two dudes thumb wrestling.
This is the same party in the suite.
You gotta be kidding me.
The same losers that are our age.
So on that note, I'm going back to the Raw side.
Oh man.
Change the channel. Click.
Yep. All right, this is what we do. Head to head. Matter of fact, John, hit me, please.
This is our own party.
Yes, we have our own party. All right. So our next match for Monday Night Raw, we have Mark Henry going against Goldust. Mark Henry dominated Goldust the whole match. He gets ready for the pin, and he stops and looks towards the entrance. Like, how the hell did he just stop what he's doing unless the ref say, hey, look in the entrance? And what he sees the ninth wonder of the world, China, and some woman. Goldust with a shattered dreams after that and gets himself disqualified. This match went 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
I don't know what he's talking about by woman, but
hey, we ain't get there yet. We don't know that. You gotta watch future episodes of Monday Night Raw.
He was also featured on the Daredevil Netflix series.
But after this, China helped up Mark Henry. She kissed Mark on the cheek. China says the other night was incredible and that he's more than enough man for her. So he introduces him to Sammy. China and Sammy wants to take a load off Mark's mind, and Mark passes out.
Boom.
Just nod your head.
Listen. I love Mark Henry's sell when he did that. Like, That's just like every man's dream. Your girl's like, hey, I know you've had a long day, but me and my friend, we gonna take care of you. Like, ¿qué?
It was kind of cringy for me during his Hall of Fame speech where he put on the freaking cape and was like trying to hit on Stephanie. I mean, whatever, but man.
All right, so after this,
Hey, Stephanie.
after this, we see Dennis Knight.
But if I put this voice on you, they'd get you, Stephanie. Ooh, yeah.
I don't think Mark Henry can do that voice.
Nah.
Probably can't.
All right, so after this, we see Dennis Knight. Dennis Knight is your former Phineas Godwin.
And in WCW, he was known as
Tank Slashner? Slashner? What the
yeah.
fuck name?
yeah.
All right, so we see Dennis Knight. He's chained up somewhere
Whoa.
in some warehouse, basement, whatever you want to call it.
The acolytes.
Not
Not even
yet.
Not even
They
APA
just show him, help me, please, get me out of here.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
So after this, we have the Godfather comes out with some hoes.
How many hoes? Not one, not two, not three, but four.
Then after this, they show the corporation taking them out last week. So this match coming up now, you have Tess going against the Godfather.
Test.
And then
Test.
before the match started, they showed Tess beating up Val Venus last week. Abel, what do you want to say about this match?
Next.
God.
This match went 1 minute and 59 seconds.
It just was.
The match had
no heat.
It had no heat whatsoever. They started in the ring, ended up outside the ring, and then Val Venus shows up. They fight outside. The refs break them up. Match went to no contest.
Yeah.
Jericho and Saturn went 4 times the length of this match.
After this, you see HBK backstage talking to DX. You want to turn the channel, or do you want to stay on? You want to stay on Raw? What do you want to do?
Come on, when HBK's on, you gotta stay on. Pause.
All right. So after this,
And I'm a Bret Hart guy saying that.
So after this, we see Shane McMahon come out. He's the referee for your upcoming match with Triple H with China going against Mankind. This match went 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Triple H came out with the DX barcode shirt. I always liked that shit. That shit was dope.
I actually gotta look at that.
But this is an actual match. Like, there was actually fight. I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't watch the show beforehand.
I don't remember this either.
Not knowing what was going to take place. They were actually going back and forth, but then Triple H goes for a sunset flip, and Mankind's holding on to the top rope, and Shane kicks his hand, and 1, 2, 3, match is over.
Quick speed. And when I noticed one thing that Triple H still says to this day, I know we're boys, but this is business. I'm doing what's best for business. I'm like, Jesus fucking. He was saying this shit back then.
He said
repetitive.
He said it's a business. He said a win is a win, especially when it comes to the title.
Yep.
And then after that, he pedigreed Shane. Mick, he's all yours.
Yep. Oh man.
And then Foley hit Shane with an actual wrestling move, and Shane is screaming. And he said he doesn't deserve a title shot at the Royal Rumble. He wants it tonight. Anything to get Shane off. Vince comes out. I accept. So later on that night, you get Mankind versus The Rock in a no disqualification match.
I love how The Rock comes out. He's like, God damn it, Vince! I know you want to. You're trying to protect your kid, but I'm not even dressed for this fucking match.
I'm not ready. He wasn't ready.
I know you're not ready, Rock. I'm sorry.
His nipples were still hurting.
I know it's your fucking kid, but Jesus.
The Rock had the warm up suit on. He's getting his areolas done.
We didn't even know that.
No, we didn't know that.
Till years later, we're like, wait, you had that on for that? Okay, take it easy.
So after seeing this, guys, you want to change the channel?
Well, to keep up on time, we do, don't we?
Yeah, you gotta.
All right, we're changing the channel. See what's going on.
It's not head and chest and torso to head. It's head to head, man. Segment to segment.
It's hard to change the channel when you have all that going on.
Raw is picking up right now.
So if you never turn the channel, you wouldn't until the main event, Hogan and Nash.
All right, so on the other channel,
Yeah.
we see Miss Elizabeth getting interrogated. She says, Goldberg is everywhere.
Oh my God.
Everywhere I go, Goldberg is there. Why go to the gym? He's in the gym.
Yeah. You guys, you work out at the gym that he owns.
While I'm in the hotel, he's in the hotel.
You travel to the same spots.
The book WCW books our hotels.
I was cracking up though when she said, "Well, I go to the gym to relax." He's there. Like, who go to the gym to relax?
Yeah.
I know John doesn't.
What?
All right.
No, but Goldberg's explanations later is like, why am I at the gym? Because I own the gym. Why am I at the same hotel? Because WCW books us in the same hotel. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So after this segment, they show the LWO outside with their rides. They're going to be partying, dancing with chicks, and playing cards.
That's where Dom was born.
What, with LWO? Oh, I thought you were talking about me. My bad.
No.
Mysterio, that is.
He was born with that chick on Eddie Guerrero's arm, that whole segment. Whew.
Mommy.
All right, so our next match for WCW is Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio going against Juventud Guerrero and Psychosis. And before I break down the match, this match went 7 minutes and 36 seconds. And for my notes, it was a great action. I love the springboard doomsday device.
Oh, yeah.
That Ray hit. Oh, my God. That shit was dope.
Where'd that come from? Jesus.
That shit was dope. That shit was dope. But Psychosis and Juventud, they had like a little tension throughout that whole match. But Kidman accidentally dropped Ray in the back of the head, and Psychosis with a leg drop, and he got the win off the top rope. That was basically it.
I mean, you think about the future stars of WCW at the time, man. Booker T, Kidman. What the
Rey
fuck, guys?
Mysterio.
You know, you could argue. I mean, I know we all know Rey Mysterio and how his career went, but at the time, you could argue. You could still argue it either way. He was a special talent, no doubt about it. But
I know, even though he was a cruiserweight, something about him where you were just like, how is he not in the main event scene yet?
Yeah, with Booker, Kidman, the future that should have been.
Well, all I can say is Rey Mysterio's talent has been followed for so many years. I don't know if anybody is even close. The closest thing to him right now, like ring wise, Hijo de Vikingo.
I got his picture for free last year.
Or any one of those guys.
No, just the whole luchador style, his wrestling style compared to Ray's. I think Vikingo is a little bit more athletic, but obviously the guys now compared to what they were back then, it just everybody seems to get quicker, faster, stronger. It's a different comparison. It's like, Jesus Christ, these guys are gonna kill each other one day.
Can't talk though. That's the problem.
That'll come. Ray didn't really talk in the beginning.
But he could.
He could. But
He could.
they never gave him the opportunity to.
Yeah.
That's true. We don't know if Ehud can yet.
Or Andrade.
All he do is smile.
No, Andrade can talk.
Andrade getting a big push in AEW. For what reason? He's leaving them anyway. I wouldn't push him.
I think Tony just like, hey, I'm not gonna.
Whatever. Where's Miro?
Yeah, where is Miro?
Exactly.
He'll be at WrestleCon, Philadelphia,
God.
coming up.
I know his wife's not is doing better now. Thank God.
She got like a.
She had a bad infection.
She
in her
got a
finger.
Russian sickle.
She really did. That thing was nasty looking. Ugh.
Well, she stopped cheating on her husband.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
All right, so after this match, you see Goldberg talking to the cops, talking about he's been in the same locations as Miss Elizabeth, same hotel, same gym, Coke machine, or Pepsi machine, same thing.
I like Pepsi.
After seeing this, I changed the channel.
Oh, man.
So we're going to go back to the Raw side. So your next match for Monday Night Raw, you have a future Hall of Famer and current wrestler on AEW. You have Edge going against D'Lo Brown. And then they show a video segment of D'Lo Brown calling Terry and Miss Jackie, also known as PMS, ring rats. See, at this time, I like this because everybody on WWEF TV at the time, they all had a story.
Yes.
And then, like I said, I haven't seen this episode. So we see D'Lo come out with a chest protector. And him and Edge, they had like a good opening match. But the fans, they weren't into it. They were chanting boring at the time.
Yeah.
But that running power bomb was impressive. I was wondering, was that the same move he did to Draws?
No, he. Yeah. It was a pile driver.
Was it a pile driver?
Yeah.
No, he hurt Draws with the running power bomb.
Was it? I thought it was a pile driver.
Oh. Yeah. That was Stone Cold, brother.
Anyways, here comes PMS. You see Miss Jackie coming out. You see Terry Runnels coming out, and she's holding her stomach. I guess she was pregnant. We didn't know that she was pregnant. Well, I didn't know she was pregnant. And then
She couldn't be pregnant. I had a vasectomy.
So Terry comes out. She climbs the stairs. D'Lo is approaching her. She slips off the stairs, and she's screaming for help. And she's holding her stomach. Jackie's helping. D'Lo, what'd you do? D'Lo's all confused, like I ain't do nothing. And I'm thinking that cameraman, I'm like, damn. I'm like, all you see is just straight crotch and cheeks. That's all you see. Like,
Hey, Kevin Dunn.
like, whoa.
I love you, brother.
So about that whole segment, Shorty's pregnant, and
Well, Terry had a history of that. She was showing vag since the fatal.
She was showing. I'm like, damn, like Jack, you ain't gonna pull her dress down a little bit?
She was doing that when China bear hugged her from behind, was like throwing her
Yeah.
around during one of China's first appearances. She was doing that. Marlena's.
Just letting everything hang out.
That's right. That happened way back then. It's just her calling card, just kind of like Rikishi does that the 360 turn when he gets clothesline. That's their move. That's just what they do.
That's why she got new jacked.
That's right. That's why she has
Anyway.
20 vaccines.
Ew.
So
Lots of jabs.
the Edge and D'Lo match went 4 minutes and 57 seconds. What do you think about that whole match right there, Abe?
I think Edge was like when his second year at that time, or like,
Yeah, he came out what 98? I want to say.
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So I mean, you could start to see a little bit of like what we're gonna get out of him. Not a lot, just because the timing wasn't there, but like you can start to see that they were trying to push him and they were trying to make a star out of him. He wasn't there yet, obviously, because they had Austin, Rock, and all those other guys right there. But it's good to see that they actually like pushed for the younger stars to make something out of them.
He tried. At this time, he was like remind me like Chris Jericho, like come on, baby, like like
Yeah.
trying to hype the fans up, and the fans had like no interest whatsoever.
He has no character.
Yeah, he didn't have a story where you're just like, all right, now we can back him up.
Even Edge admits that. He's like, I was just a guy that screamed and ran at night.
Yeah,
It's like, I was, okay, great. Good for you.
So
that's why you need stories. Anybody can have a good match, but if you don't have a story to back it up,
It's not
I
like,
don't care.
it's not like he was that proficient in the ring, Like,
Yeah,
not as impressive as like Kurt Angle or something like that,
yeah. That was just he was a madman.
Meanwhile,
So hold on. So we're like 5 matches in, and we only
I
had
know.
one match with a regular finish
that's,
at this time,
Typical Attitude Era from both sides.
there you go.
and that one regular finish was with the ref Shane McMahon.
There you go.
Doing what
It
he
wasn't.
do.
I wouldn't even say regular. That was just go fuck yourself.
All right, so back on the other channel, back on TNT, we have Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Big Sexy. Kevin Nash says Goldberg got screwed, and then Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, is behind that. He wants Hogan tonight for the world title.
Really? Good for you.
You called out the Nature Boy to confirm it.
Then after this, Ric Flair comes out. He says he doesn't know what's going on with Goldberg, but if Liz is involved, Hulk Hogan is pulling the strings. So Flair makes the match between Hogan and Nash tonight. Then they show the video package again of Kevin Nash beating Goldberg for the title.
Kevin Nash in the production track. Play it again.
Yeah.
Play it again.
One more time.
So after this, we see the cops interviewing Liz again.
Oh, yeah.
In the hotel gym, she picks up the phone and he hangs up. She's the victim.
All I heard was breathing. You're next. And I don't know if it was this segment or another segment, but she's like, he was wearing his red trunks. Big red flag. Everyone knows Goldberg ain't got no red trunks.
Nope.
That was funny as hell.
Oh, Lord. So after this, we see Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Hollywood Hogan. Hogan said he's going for the title. After he wins, you can call himself Hollywood, the big bad wolf.
What's funny about this is Hogan comes out and on the network he's coming out to the NWO music, but there are certain points where you can hear the Voodoo Child in the background, so it's pretty funny. I thought they're pretty smooth with those music covers, but this time you could hear it real well.
So here you go. This is where WCW fucked up right here. Tony Schiavone said, if you even think about changing our channel to our competition, fans do not. We understand that Mick Foley, who wrestled one time here as Cactus Jack, is going to win their world title. Ooh, that put some butts in the seats.
Yeah.
Nice.
They decided to put that stinger on at the end of a probably more watched segment, a Hogan segment. And, yes.
So
backfire indeed.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't not announce a title change.
They thought it would work.
Especially in a world title change.
Because Bischoff used to do that back in the day, and it would work. But
at
it didn't
this
work
time, Bischoff still is not talking at the time.
That's right.
But he gave order to Tony Schiavone to say what you got to say.
Yeah, probably wrote it down.
After hearing that, everybody changed the channel.
Jesus.
So our next segment, we have Kane coming out with the corporation and Pat Patterson mocking Kane. Kane still had that damn Briscoe body sign on his back. Shane announced it's going to be a handicap match between Kane and Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. This shit was funny as hell because I thought about Abel when I watched this shit. How Pat Patterson tried to offer Kane a cigarette.
Yep.
Oh,
why you thinking about me for that?
Because when Jericho spilled the hot coffee.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I spilled my coffee on you.
Kane decimated the Stooges.
He almost fucked up. He
Yeah.
almost fucked up Shane's like, Vince's like, no, leave Shane alone.
Yeah, and the Stooges arguing with each other. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
it was funny. So after this, we see Farouk and Bradshaw uncuff, what's his name, Dennis Knight, I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, before he became Midian. And after this, we have a hardcore title match between Al Snow, who's coming out with a bloody shirt from 2 weeks ago, going against the Road Dogg, Jesse James. This match went 8 minutes and 38 seconds. This is your longest match of the night right now. And it was an entertaining hardcore match.
Yep.
They even took it outside. But basically, Road Dogg retained the hardcore title with a pile driver on Wooden Palace in the snow.
I mean, I would argue Road Dogg, one of the best hardcore champions, made that division what it was.
I agree.
You know,
I definitely agree.
So, after this, we see HBK getting ready to leave the building. And then Triple H gave Shawn the wrong keys. He couldn't get in his car, so he's knocking on the stage 3 door.
Did you hear what he had to say before he left? Foreshadowing.
If this is on this show, I can't believe it.
Yeah. He gave him the keys. He said, "Yeah, I'll be back with Vince's Stone Cold surprise." And he's like, yeah. Or maybe you won't be at all. And he walks away, and I'm just like, no one caught that?
I didn't catch it. You just reminded me.
Is this the one where Shawn was stuck outside and got beat up?
Yep.
He got beat up by the corporation. His face was all bloodied in the windshield.
Wait, and is that why Shawn turned on DX
Yes.
and then became part of the commissioner of the corporation?
Yeah.
You gotta watch out in future episodes.
Really? What's February? Watch the decline of HBK before he came back with Christ era.
All right, so we're gonna go back.
Welcome to week 55 of the What Doesn't Matter podcast.
We're gonna go back to the other channel. They show a backstage segment early in the day of Chris Jericho talking to the ref, buttering him up. After this, we see Scott Steiner with Buff Bagwell going against Conan. And Scott Steiner, he's out there talking shit like always. Buff out there doing the dirty bird. And I ain't really got much notes on that match. I just know they double team K-Dog. Conan was getting ready for the Tequila Sunrise. Bagwell interferes. And then K-Dog wins the match by DQ in 4 minutes and 1 second.
Scott Steiner eventually would become known for his crazy, wild, live promos, right? Man, his promos were more nonsensical than anything Ultimate Warrior ever said. At least Ultimate Warrior can follow his fantasy craziness. Scott Steiner was just talking crap after crap after crap. I have no idea what he said. I have no idea whatever he tried to say. So, Big Papa Pump's promos, a big thumbs down. But the energy behind it and the attitude and the physique behind it, I'll give that a thumbs up.
You know why he said it? Because he's fat. He's fat.
No one said Scott Steiner had finesse. But, Conan comes out and, he's him and Kevin Nash, the last remaining Wolfpack members.
Oh,
Well,
man.
actually, Lex Luger was still around, but he didn't make it. He didn't wrestle in a match. And Conan, as mentioned before on the show, was popular with some members of this podcast group, but he never was with me. So I never enjoyed seeing Conan come out.
I was never a K-Dog guy. It's funny.
Dom liked Conan.
I just like the move, the Tequila Sunrise.
Mitch liked Conan.
That was
I don't know. Something about him was just like, you're a dick. I don't like you.
Mexican.
No.
That's what Dom said about Luger.
Hey, I like birria tacos.
Oh,
What?
Lord.
Berea.
All right, so after this
This
makes me want to change the channel. Your next match for WCW Nitro is Wrath going against
Oh,
Bam Bam
man.
Bigelow. This match went 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
Change
And
the channel. Change the channel. Sorry. Bam Bam Bigelow was like one of them old heads from like the early 90s. Bro.
so Wrath cuts a promo.
But
You're
wait.
seeing Wrath cut a promo. Makes
Sure
you want
does.
to change the damn channel.
But
Oh my
wait.
God.
Did Bam Bam already have that fight with Taz just yet? At ECW?
He might have went back after this. I want to
Oh,
say.
yeah, I'm not sure about
So
that.
Yeah, I'm
it's
not-
around that timeline. So let me just...
All right, so Wrath cuts a promo saying that y'all paid to see him to drop a power bomb on the dome.
No, I didn't.
There's no competition. So Bam Bam come walking out.
Think about this. Yeah, I like to think about these stupid things. But Wrath and Bam Bam Bigelow,
Adam Bomb.
featured
WWF.
stars of the new generation of the WWF in 94 and 95. Here they are, wasting time on Nitro. Yeah, that's there it was, and no one cared, and turning the channel as we speak.
Yep. We turned the channel.
Back to Raw.
Wrath was getting a little push, right? Because in WCW, a lot of random guys got little pushes, but he had a huge push until they started doing this thing called Tuesday Nitros, which were 1-hour shows. And on one of them, probably the first Tuesday Nitro, which you'll never find unless it's on YouTube, is Kevin Nash squashing Wrath, the man who was unbeaten for so many weeks for no freaking reason.
Was Nash booking?
Probably.
That's why that place went to shit
Bullshit.
again.
Well, I'm not changing the channel yet because
All right.
there's only one more segment on Monday Night Raw.
I never
but,
know with you, Dom.
But at this time during this match, Bischoff is finally talking, and he's talking shit about Goldberg. The match stopped because of a countout, and they start fighting toward the entrance. So after this bullshit's over, you see the cops interviewing Liz, and they're catching her in a lie. She's denying her accusations. She said, could be mistaken, wasting their time doing anything here to not have Goldberg get his rematch.
Probably.
So after this, what do? Bring out the Nitro girls. Dance some more, girls. And Bischoff is back there literally not saying a word. And Tony and Bobby are saying Goldberg do anything to be in this match. So we have another match after this. And this match went 8 minutes and 58 seconds. This match was Bryan Adams, formerly known as Crush in the WWF, going with Vincent, going against Diamond Dallas Page. And this was the loudest reaction of the night so far with
Yes.
DDP.
This was the main event of the show.
Yeah.
And with all the interference from Vincent, DDP showed off his skills and hit a terrible looking diamond cutter off the top rope for the win.
Okay. So Bryan Adams, Crush, he's not Bret Hart. He's not a good technical wrestler. But he kept getting pushes throughout the years. And you know what? He was more capable than a lot of people of his stature, So here's what I think. Bryan Adams was very capable of being carried to a decent match. Someone like DDP or Bret Hart. But when he was in there with other schleps like a Vincent or Stevie Ray or Lex Luger, he would have a terrible match because he just needed to be led. He needed someone to tell him the things that he could do well and not do the stuff that he doesn't do well, like pile drivers. Because he did nail a pretty ugly pile driver here, and DDP would return the favor by giving him an ugly diamond cutter, but it did not look that bad depending on the camera angle. Because they shot an on a replay, they did a different angle, and it actually looked pretty good. Then they replayed it from the original angle, and it looked like shit. So it's all about the angle sometimes.
All about the angles.
Kurt Angle. Before we get into the main events, I'm going to take a powder. But right here, you see
Can't last
Goldberg.
59 minutes.
We got two major segments, but you see Goldberg with the cops. Told now Liz made up the whole story. Now he's rushing back to the Georgia Dome. He's going to try to get in this main event match. And the crazy thing is, early in the show, they said the police station is right across the street from the Georgia Dome. John,
All right, go take that powder.
take it from there.
You
Oh
want
my
to
God.
discuss what's in the box? Or do we wait for Dom?
We could do the box. It's a good time. All right.
I love doing the box every night. All night long.
All right.
All right.
But yes, the police station is right across from the Georgia Dome, and why it took 20 minutes for Goldberg to get there, no one will ever know.
No.
But that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is a special segment brought to you by our own Poppy Platano, where he opens the Pro Wrestling Crate of the month.
So this is the December's last minute crate. So
Well, why is it last minute?
last month's crate. Because we are in beginning of January. And
are
it came around Christmas
Is there a
time.
bunch of ornaments in there?
I got something nice.
I mean, don't you subscribe to this? You don't order it per box. You have a subscription,
I
right?
do have a subscription with
All
it.
right.
This year's, this month's Pro Wrestler Micro Brawler, Santa House. We have Santy House.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
This is Santa House. Yeah, I don't like special edition figures. I really don't. I just like the straight up figure. You know what I mean?
If it's something, not something like that, it's not my cup of tea, but just because it's something I'm not going to catch any other time.
It's something to give away.
Yeah. I got a...
He's got a pin.
What is this pin?
A pin of some sort. Is it Brian Pillman? Is it Alexa Bliss?
This
We
is
don't
an
know.
Orange Cassidy pin. So
Oh, okay.
all I got to say is,
It looks like Doug.
it does.
All
All right. I'm guessing this is the Hot Rod flag.
Hot Rod flag.
I'm gonna have to open this.
All right. And back from his sarcophagus.
Oh boy, this is.
Oh, ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man. Look, remember the banners that we used to hang in the old studio?
This is this is definitely gonna go in the new.
Ooh.
You want it?
No,
I'll take it.
I'm not giving it to anybody.
You say you didn't want it.
Nita will
did.
take it.
Let's see, the autograph of the
Uh-oh.
month.
Autograph.
The Brooklyn Brawl.
Oh, my God. Two of them.
I actually got two. Hold up.
Well, I'll take one.
Kevin Sullivan.
2 brawlers.
Oh, my God. Kevin Sullivan's autograph is worse than any of the Shield members.
So, what's the theme for this month? What's for December?
Whatever's left.
Yeah, this is basically like the Christmas special, I guess,
Oh,
or whatever.
geez.
Nothing says Christmas like Kevin Sullivan and the Brooklyn Brawler. Not even in the same company.
All right, so the T-shirts are
Uh-oh. I see 2 good ones already. I
yes,
think.
13 time. We them boys.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
Them boys forever. Yay.
And we got
They should have gave you this shirt. Briscoe's Wanted Dead or Alive.
Oh, no.
and one of
That's
my
custom, man.
one of my favorites of all time.
Could be a CM Punk shirt.
The great
Muta.
Scott Hall denim T-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to get
One more for the bad guys.
one more for the bag.
Is it always 2 shirts or 1 shirt?
It's always
usually?
2 shirts.
Oh, really? Okay.
What was the first thing that I missed?
Sorry, you have to watch the show. We need the views.
Timestamp.
Danhausen,
Throw that shit in the trash.
Santahausen
Santahausen,
and
the
Orange
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy pin.
Look like Doug.
Well,
He said the same thing. He was not listening. That's the funny.
the Hot Rod banner
The
and
Hot Rod banner.
Hot Rod banner and 2 T-shirts. That's pretty hot right there.
That is.
Yeah.
Now I need Ronda Rousey to sign this.
Oh, jeez.
You need the hot Scots.
Hot toddy. But
Lottie Dottie.
And that concludes this month's
Pro Wrestling Crate. Crate.
I will say one thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys been watching Mustafa Ali?
Fuck him.
He's featured in the next one.
Your time is up. Your time is gone.
His big announcement, GCW.
Good for you, brother.
Thank you, Mustafa Ali, for allowing us the gift that was Kofi Mania.
And thank you, Pro Wrestling Crate, for another good box.
You gonna continue with the crate next year since you are soon to be daddy?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. That can be Pampers.
Don't worry, those Pampers will come out first.
You're not going to use reusable cloths?
No.
How about banana leaves? I know a guy.
Nah, bamboo. It's really strong.
Boo. Bam. Boo.
Wow.
But as we were leaving with the Georgia Dome, Goldberg leaving the police station to go to the Georgia Dome 2 blocks away, and a guy of Goldberg's athleticism, he could have made it in 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Not 20 or whatever, however long it took.
Well, how far was it?
It's not that far.
Remember the walk we had to fucking do to get in the stadium, Dom?
Atlanta? You know.
Well,
We're not from there, so we don't know, but...
Nah, man.
That was freaking long as fuck.
Downtown and the Georgia Dome, not far from the hotel I stayed at, and all I know is like it wasn't that far. But they drove him over in a Ford Taurus. He came out of a Ford Taurus. Jeez,
Like, he drove the car himself. Like, damn.
Oh no, man.
I don't know.
That's what happened on Nitro in that segment.
All right, so, guys, I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you want to go on the Raw side, or do you want to do the Nitro side? How do you want to,
Let's
just do?
To me, let's do like Cody Rhodes told Dustin Rhodes, take a gun, pull the trigger, and boom.
No.
All right, we'll see you next week.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that. You want to try that again?
Finger poke of doom, baby. Just get it done and over with.
Jeez,
I'm getting
Louise.
tired. I do not want to go down.
As Cody Rhodes would say, let's finish the story of on Nitro. Jesus Christ,
gonna
Abel.
finish.
All right.
You know what would be really great? If he doesn't win the title.
It's going darker than Chris Benoit's gym. Anyway. So, the main event.
All right, so your main event.
So when you have a night gym,
Night gym.
Turn the lights on.
he really turns the lights out.
All right.
Hey, man, you can't see me. Quit choking.
Put it on mute.
Before,
See?
since we in the main event, pour everybody a shot one time, John.
Oh,
This is what we're gonna do.
might as well start the year off really good.
Yes, this is it.
That's why I say we're not ending it with the damn finger poke of doom.
All right.
Now, you want to end on a good note, and the happy note is on the other side of the pond with Raw, so let's finish off Nitro.
Well, while John pours a shot, next week we are going to discuss the 1994 Royal Rumble. If everybody remembers that was the ending with Brett and Lex Luger.
One of the biggest legend stars in this business. Your t-shirt's too tight, Billy.
So what we're going to do something, one of my concepts. I figure we're going to review the show, but we are going to watch the Rumble together and give our commentating towards it.
So half review, half watch.
So we're reviewing the undercard?
The undercard,
and then we'll watch the
Rumble
Rumble
together.
Why, is the Rumble like 30 minutes?
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Well, it's like 4 undercard matches, so
We'll see.
we got time. We trying to go hour. We got time.
Unless some crazy news happens in the world of
CM Punk is your World Heavyweight Champion.
no.
Alrighty then. All right, so let's take this.
He won't even be the champion at Mania.
All right, well, let's take this shot for Scott Hall.
It'll be Dominic
Hey,
Mysterio.
yo.
For Scott Hall.
Yeah, for Scott Hall.
Why?
Why not?
Hey yo.
You don't... you don't know who I am. You know who I am.
Oh, hold on. Before we get into this,
Well,
right
you
quick,
don't know why we're here.
I meant to ask you guys in the beginning of the show. So the Monday Night Wars is. When do you consider that the Monday Night War started? John, what do you think? Like, do you
The
think?
Mall of America, Nitro
Lex
number
Luger.
1.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Because that was the opening shot.
Yeah.
They didn't start fighting with each other, but that's when the war began with the debut of the show.
That was like, wait, why is he here? Like, what?
You don't know who he is.
He was a free agent. He, wrestling no contract. So at that time,
but he had his word.
Then again, I don't know. I saw that and then I didn't watch WCW.
Do you think it's Luger or do you think it was when Scott Hall came down?
I think it was Scotty. Something about that.
And then what he
caught me off guard. It caught me off guard because that's when I started watching both. I'm like,
no.
Hold on.
All right, hold on. Question for you guys. You said Mall of America. You think so? Monday Night War started in '95. That's what you thinking?
No.
Yeah.
The Monday Night War didn't start getting competitive until Scott Hall went to Nitro. But it began way before that.
And when do you think it really picked up in '97 after Brett?
No, it picked up.
I would say NWO.
Well, okay, so it can begin with an incident, an incident. I'm not good with world history, but all wars begin with something. And it only got interesting when Scott Hall moved sides, and because Raw was kind of beating Nitro. They were back and forth.
It was whack.
So but Nitro started beating Raw with starting around that time with Scott Hall, and then the whole year of '97. If you want to put creative into the Monday Night Wars, the WWF was hitting a creative high in '97.
Even though they weren't beating them in the ratings.
Their creative high led them to a hot 1998.
I agree.
Whereas WCW's hot creative in '96 and early '97 peaked, and it just went downhill. But that doesn't matter. You're asking when the war began. That it began with the first show.
That's true.
Well, there would be no war otherwise.
Well, Luger, okay.
Yeah, when you put it down like that, it makes sense. Pause.
As she said.
It makes sense, but I think the shot
Luger,
that really just kicked it
Luger
off.
and Scott Hall, the mascots of the Monday Night War.
So 95 and 96, that was all WCW. So once 97 hits, you think
that's when
they were still losing.
Yeah,
they were still losing. Yeah,
that's when they really started kicking into gear. Though.
When did they start picking? Was it after the screw job?
No, Stone Cold and Vince. That's the 83 weeks. I think 83 weeks ended around when after WrestleMania in Boston, Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon.
98.
Yeah. That's when it began. That's when Nitro's streak of 83 weeks in a row stopped was with Vince and Austin. When did it begin? I can't tell you that, but I would guess it was around sometime the summer of '96.
So when did Raw start winning consecutively? Because I feel like
consecutively.
I feel like after watching this Nitro,
Probably
I feel like after Goldberg's streak, after this,
well,
I feel like they were done after this.
I would say the summer of '98 because at that time that's when WCW was getting desperate. They were getting desperate in the fact that Hogan and Brett had their first televised match on Nitro. Sting, Wolfpack Sting, high blood pressure Sting, and Goldberg for the title on Nitro. Goldberg had a bunch of matches on Nitro in September of that year. They were hot-shotting. They were desperate. They were losing. They were still competitive, yeah, but they were not winning easily. They were fighting. So, and why do you think Goldberg and Hogan, we all know when that happened, around the top of July '98. Why the hell did that happen on free TV?
Yeah.
Because they were desperate. They were losing.
You know how much money they would have made? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So WCW might have had a couple more years in the books if they had kept that and put that in for pay-per-view.
Well, if you want to play devil's advocate of some sort, it was, granted, they got canceled because some rogue network executive wanted to cancel them.
Yeah, they basically set them up for failure.
But if they were not bleeding, hemorrhaging money, then they would have had a chance to stay on TNT. But as it was, they were losing the war, they were losing money, and it was an easy way to just say, let's get rid of this off our books. Let's just get rid of it completely.
Well, the main reason was the divorce that Ted Turner was dealing with.
What divorce?
With his wife. That's what really killed WCW.
You want to take it to the workplace, brother.
You didn't realize that?
I didn't know the man was married.
You ever watch Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Nope.
What's her name?
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, Jane Fonda.
Okay.
They were getting divorced around
Think she
99 or
works out.
2000.
So what's that got to do with him and WCW going downhill?
Yo, when you get a divorce, everything goes in the books. Everything.
So she took the money.
She took the money.
took
They
the
were
whole
like,
WCW.
they were just,
No, it don't. What are you talking about?
Ted Turner sold his company to AOL.
Yes.
And so he no longer had voting power. That's why the only person that liked the wrestling in WCW and Turner Network Television,
was Ted.
TNN. Turner Network Television. The only person that kept it around was Ted Turner. And once he lost his power, no one wanted to keep it around.
Wait,
Because
he had TNN as well?
TNN and TBS.
Yeah, that was his.
They're
You
both
mean TNT?
No, that was a joke when he won.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, wait.
He said, "You know what?
I remember ECW.
Nitro was on TNN, Turner Network Television." I'm like, oh, he fucked up.
Yeah.
Because he was the right guy. Anyway.
All right, one more question for you, John, before we get into these main events. Where was Sting?
Sting?
In the Raptors. Sleeping.
See, this is where Abel was the right word at the wrong time. Sting was going through a divorce and personal issues at the time because his last match was a Halloween Havoc with Bret the Hitman Shart. And
Was that Starcade?
it was a Halloween Havoc.
Wait, my bad.
Bret and Stinger. And Sting wouldn't come back until around Spring Stampede because that's when him and DDP swapped the titles a few times on Nitro. But he was out. He was gone. And he was, like I said, he was going through a divorce and his drug addiction kind of stuff. So that's where Sting was.
Okay.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
It's sad to hear that.
He overcame it.
Yeah.
He's good.
And they also created like a Christian movie based off of Sting's life at that time. Too.
Get the fuck out of here.
John would know. Did you watch it?
I believe I did, but I don't recall any more about it.
Woo!
How you doing, baby?
Don doesn't need that woo energy. He already has it.
Damn right.
That's it. All right, guys. Finger poker doom time. Here we go. Main event for Monday Nitro, January 4th, 1999. You have Hollywood Hulk Hogan going against Big Sexy Kevin Nash. And it kicks off with Michael Buffer as your ring announcer. And you know when Michael Buffer is out here, you know you got the big match feel to it.
You have the
They
big
spent
match
some money.
field, but it's just
So Hollywood Hogan came out with the big bad booty daddy Scott Steiner, and Hogan, he wasn't dressed for his match. He was still rocking the outfit he had on earlier. I don't know why the fuck he was still dressed up. He had plenty of time to put the tights on, but whatever. And then Nash comes out, and then he does one of these numbers. He signals for Scott Hall. They hug. Next you know, Hogan acts all pissed off that Hall is in Nash's corner.
But he brought out a guy first.
I know.
then Nash, he rips his shirt like Hulk Hogan, imitating him. The place going loud. The people are standing up in the Georgia Dome. Nash pushed Hogan into the corner. Hogan goes for the punch.
Boop.
People laugh.
He poked Kevin Nash in the chest.
Ass.
1, 2, 3. And Hulk Hogan is your new champion.
He's belly laughing.
And the way these two are laughing right now, that's what Eric Bischoff is doing. And Goldberg comes, he pulls up, he runs, and he takes out Scott Steiner. Mm-hmm. He takes out Nash, takes out Hall, he takes out Hogan.
Got a big pop.
Next you know, Luger comes out, and he takes out Goldberg. They jump him, they handcuff him, and then Hall comes in with the taser.
That's what Eric Bischoff is doing in commentary.
They tagged him,
That
they
dildo up
spray
his
paint him,
ass.
and that's it.
Show went off the air.
I'd be pissed off if I was in the goddamn Georgia Dome.
Did you-
Yep.
Did you know what they did after the camera stopped rolling?
One more time.
Well, kind of like Dom, I was a little inspired to do the follow-up show, but which on Peacock automatically scrolls to the following week's Nitro. No.
You gotta watch Thunder.
You gotta watch Thunder. So I turned on Thunder a little bit to see what happened. And apparently at the end of, once Nitro went off the air, to save face, even though it still didn't work, Goldberg called out all the Atlanta Falcons, and they came out to the ring.
Didn't they beat Hogan's ass, some shit like that?
Well, they didn't show that part. If it happened, I'm not really sure. But what they did record is that Goldberg, even with his spray painted body and the Atlanta Falcons next to him, he was calling out Nash and those guys to come out. But that was it. And that was them saving face for the live crowd, not necessarily for the television crowd. But that was the finger poke of doom. You know what? As it was, watching it as it was stupid.
Yep.
It was typical WCW.
Yep.
But you could see that they, with some hindsight in retrospect, they did have a plan. Was the plan going to work? Bad things happened.
So what was their plan? They get the NWO Wolfpack and NWO Black and White back together? That was the plan?
So what? All right, Dom and Abel, what do you guys think about Goldberg losing the streak and the title to Kevin Nash? Do you think it was a good idea or a bad idea?
You go first.
I didn't like it at that time. I mean, as a kid, I did like the streak and all that, but a big but.
Rikishi.
Yes, Yoko. What do you do with a guy who cannot be defeated?
Roman.
Nothing. So he beats everybody. Mm-hmm. What do you do with him?
Yeah.
When you finally beat him, I mean, granted, you make a guy, but who do you make on your way? He's destroying everybody. There's nobody in sight. Like, all right, he's beat everybody. You got to give the belt up eventually. So it was a good idea. I'm not gonna lie. I hate it at the time, but the older I get, you have to get
6 months.
Yeah, get the belt off this guy.
It was still a second trimester.
So you don't think Goldberg needed the title?
He finally got to a point where he didn't need the title. He was that over, but
did the right guy do it?
No, that's the only problem.
So for me,
that is my problem.
Everybody know in this room that I am a Goldberg guy.
Uh-huh.
But Nash didn't need that shit.
No.
You had up-and-coming talents like DDP, you had Booker T.
Yes.
They could have took him out.
Yes.
Young talent like Diamond Dallas Page.
Well, yeah, DDP's old, but you had guys who was over, who's ready to do. You could have Scott Steiner do the shit.
Yeah.
You could have anybody else besides Hogan, Nash, Hall.
I agree with the Booker T analogy.
You could have had Benoit if you wanted to get Benoit to that next level. You could have had Benoit do it. I'm just saying hypothetically, you could have did that, but they didn't have to do it like that.
Scott Steiner was that guy to make if you would have done that.
I had no problem with Kevin Nash doing it. First off, go watch that match, Starrcade '98, Goldberg and Nash. Hot crowd, really great action.
Yo, the fans were booing Goldberg. If you think back, they were just tired of him.
It was over him at the time. Yeah.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think it was a bad idea. I thought I was in favor of Kevin Nash. I was a big Kevin Nash fan at the time, so leader of the most popular faction all year long.
What faction?
The Wolfpack.
Oh,
yeah.
Man,
What?
it's all about.
Yeah, Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack.
Hollywood.
That Hollywood is not Wolfpack.
Hollywood started.
So Dom loved Horace Hogan, Vincent, Mike Rotundo, Scott Norton. You want me to keep going? I'd rather not.
Keep going.
Keep going, please.
I want to hear this bullshit.
I don't know who else was in the NWO at the time.
Muda.
The black and white NWO. You were that guy.
Nah, I was.
You're that guy.
I was the other channel guy. I was the Goldberg guy. I was the Hogan guy.
Am I the only... Anyway.
Yeah.
Most people would agree that the Wolfpack was pretty cool. Even though they were like 4 people to 20.
It was straight. I just didn't,
The problem with WCW, they did not develop Goldberg like WWE did with Stone Cold.
Yeah, they did.
No,
Yeah,
not
they did.
not this character wise.
Dog, we talked about Goldberg versus Mongo. I forgot what pay-per-view it
that was trash.
Oh, Starcade 97.
We talked about how he, from that year to a year later, to how he blew up. We talked about how they developed. Goldberg.
I'm talking about promos.
Hey, the man can't. That was his best promo that night.
That was it.
I own the gym.
You can't help a man can't talk.
Well, if you're gonna be champion in the other company, you need to talk.
Anyway, but
And if you're trying to beat them, you better be a better talker.
I don't think it was the worst thing for Kevin Nash to beat Goldberg, ending the streak for the title.
It needed to be done, though.
Could they have kept going? Sure, but I didn't think it was the worst thing. The worst thing was this follow-up, Nash losing it in the manner they did. And we're getting back to the question of what was their plan for this. So the plan was this. Goldberg, they said what you guys said, is that, how far can you go with an unbeatable guy? So we got to beat him. But what's money making? The chase. So who does he have to face since he beat everybody, right? Well, we're gonna turn all the faces heel. So we turn whatever's left of the Wolf Pack heel. So we'll turn Nash heel, turn Luger heel. Then he has the NWO, a united NWO, and Goldberg would have to go through every single one of them. And the pre-boss would be Nash because Hogan had the title, and the boss would be Hogan again.
Yep.
So then Goldberg would beat Hogan again, then win the championship again, and that was the plan. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
I have a question.
But that was the plan.
I have a question. Did he get his hands on Scott Hall?
Who?
During
Goldberg. After all this shit, he tased him to lose the title. Did he get his hands on Scott Hall after this?
I think Scotty had some issues he had to deal with again.
Once Goldberg lost the title, I stopped watching WCW. I was on the other channel.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they did have a match. I could be making this out or be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure they had like a taser on a pole match with Scott Hall and Goldberg.
I can see WCW doing that.
But it doesn't matter. The point is that the follow-up did not match what they planned,
Nope.
which is why it was a fail, and it wasn't better than their plan, which was a fail. That's why people go back to this segment. Like, when did things start going downhill? Around this time, because of this reason.
WCW went downhill when the streak ended. They didn't know what the fuck to do. Nothing to say?
No.
Nothing to say? That's when WCW went downhill. They didn't know what the fuck to do. They had an opportunity to build somebody else. They didn't do it.
You're not finding WCW defenders here. No, they were on the way down. They were on the way down before this. But they still had a fighting chance.
Yep.
Depending on who you ask. They still had a fighting chance. But the fighting chances, this was just one of them, okay? This was just one of them. When they made that whole new Nitro set, Eric Bischoff was like, our rating's going to go up by 2 points.
No.
Based off a new set. What?
No.
They had chances to come back, but it just didn't work. They had the new set with Sting and DDP changing the title. They had a new chance in the summer when Macho Man was with Gorgeous George and Sid came back, our old friend Sid, into that very special Road Wild 99 pay-per-view. They had many chances. Then Eric Bischoff got removed from power around later that year. 1999 was the death of WCW because this is when the whole world changed for WCW. 2000, oh man, we've watched.
We did 2000
Halloween Havoc. Like we've watched some shows.
That was.
So, no, we're not watching on the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We're not watching these shows week to week and analyzing them. We're watching them as moments in time. And you can see moments in time. We love some of that earlier stuff from 94, 93, 92. We're watching it delve into the later shows, the 96, 97, 98, 99. We're like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's not as fun, It's
not.
So,
you don't like WCW? We want more WCW shows, but y'all don't like that shit. They will choose WCW every goddamn week.
Because you tell me to.
I do.
You tell me to watch shit I didn't watch, and I see why I didn't watch.
Yes.
The votes are there. The proof is in the pudding. we're gonna do the shows that are what people want to see. They want to see coverage of Royal Rumbles. They don't want to see coverage of World War III.
No.
So they don't want to see Fall Brawl, whatever. They don't care because they want to watch WWF stuff.
But you know what? Shout out to my man Dante. He is way younger than us. And
how young?
10 years.
Yeah, he's like 10 years. So he grew up when Attitude Era just started. Yep. So he said to me, he was like, yo, I love y'all shows because I go back to watch this stuff right here because I don't know about it. He knows about, like, he was like, I want to watch, talk about ECW. I'm like, what ECW you want to talk about? Like, Barely Legal? He's like, nah, like One Night Stand. I'm like, we could do that, but okay.
Yeah, it's got to fit the mode. And
yeah, when the time comes, it's gonna happen. This is fun right here.
So June.
Yeah,
I just say June.
Listen in June, Dante. We got you.
Hold on, but before we get into the Raw side, our shows for this month, we have next week. It's gonna be the Royal Rumble 1994. After that, the Royal Rumble in 1999. We're gonna follow up the Monday Night Raw of this show. It's gonna see Stone Cold Steve Austin as number 1, and Vince McMahon as number 2. Everybody knows. Dante might not know. Vince McMahon, he's your winner of that Royal Rumble.
Spoiler alert.
Well, goddamn, pal.
And then we're gonna end January with the Royal Rumble 2005. And everybody knows, Dante might not know, Vince McMahon blew out his quads. And then at the end of the match at the Royal Rumble, it was John Cena, one of the hottest actors in Hollywood right now, going against another hot actor right now, Guardians of the Galaxy, Batista.
Question of the week. Better actor, Batista, John Cena.
I'm going to put that on the Facebook page as soon as this drops. I'll let y'all choose.
At followers.
Followers.
That will be for...
Don't say no. Don't say no date. Who do you got? Who's the better actor overall?
Right now? Batista.
John?
Batista.
And I say Batista. The reason why I say Batista...
Just from what I've seen right now.
The reason why I say Batista, because Batista is playing other types of roles that John Cena's do. John Cena is doing the straight comedy type thing. Batista, when he had the log cabin shit, that was a complete different role for Batista, and he's doing the damn thing.
I think he was a James Bond villain too, wasn't he?
Sure.
Let's see John Cena in a log cabin.
I can't see him.
I can see him in the flannel.
I don't know.
I don't think so, Tim.
Who's Tim?
Tiny Tim. Merry Christmas, bitches.
All right. You guys ready for the finale, the main events?
This one's for
Monday
the
Night
Micker.
Raw? What'd you just say?
Micker.
It's okay. We're all minorities.
All right.
For all mankind.
We don't sound like it.
For all mankind.
Bang, bang.
All right. For your World Wrestling Federation Championship, you have the most electrifying man in all entertainment going against the hardcore legend, Mick Foley, also known as Mankind. The Rock came out with the corporation. Mick Foley, Mankind, he came out with D-Generation X, and this was a fight throughout all ringside. And you know what? They was going back and forth, and The Rock was whooping that ass. And I like when he took the headphones and he started talking that trash, because that's what made The Rock. The Rock was a talker.
Well, Mankind, you look a little thirsty right here. Let me just...
And Abel watched the WCW show, but everybody knows what The Rock do.
I never watched WCW like that.
Now I'm saying you watched WCW for this show.
No,
No, I didn't. He did.
I did.
Oh shit, my bad.
Dummy. Yeah.
He got the shirt on. My bad. Anyways,
Gotcha.
I
Bitch.
love when The Rock took the bell, bing, and hit Mick Foley, and he rung his bell.
Yo.
I love that shit.
All you hear is
Thank you, post production.
That shit was good.
that was so good.
I love the rock bottom through the table, and Mick Foley got back in the Rock got it back in the ring. 1-2, he kicked out. Next, you know, the boss man interferes, and the Rock clocks him with the belt.
I don't know why they try to hide it. Like, it's a no DQ match. Who gives a fuck if the ref sees you hit the fucking guy with a belt?
Exactly. Then Mr. Sacco comes out. He goes to the Rock's gullet.
Ken Shamrock comes in with the chair shot.
Shout out to Billy Gunn.
Yes.
If you want to see a fight, this shit look 100% real. Billy got in the ring. He fucking Monty Brown pounced. He pounced his ass outside the ring, and then the glass shatters. Stone Cold comes in. He picks up that steel chair. He swings that bitch like Barry Bonds right on the Rock's face.
The steroids.
What?
What?
Also need steroids to swing that damn chair. He a redneck.
You don't need that. Playing the bear.
Next you know, he throws Mick Foley on top of the Rock, and you got the 1, you got the 2, you got the 3. You have a brand new World Wrestling Federation champion on Monday Night Raw. The place went nuts. The place went nuts when Austin's music hit. The place went nuts when Foley got the win. Abel, what you got?
I still can't believe Mankind, out of all the characters, was the WWF champion. Not Cactus, not Dude, Mankind.
Hold that thought. Michael Cole, he was on one.
Yes.
This is not the Michael Cole we see today,
No.
but this is Michael Cole. I don't know what happened to JR at this time.
JR was dealing with cerebral palsy.
My God. But anyways, Michael Cole said Mick Foley
Bell's palsy, sorry.
was known as Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind, but now he is WWF champion.
Yes.
That is one of the best lines that you can say.
I really wish I could hear what JR's call would have been right there, because he's has so many iconic calls. It's just, when you hear Michael Cole there at that time, you're so used to Jerry and King. Jerry and JR. You're like, who is Michael Cole at this time? Like, he's still young. He doesn't have that voice that he has right now. Not like,
Nah, he
didn't have.
He didn't develop into it yet.
Yeah, he wasn't the guy that we hear every. Was he on Raw now or SmackDown?
Both,
I
right? I think both.
But yeah, he's not the voice of WWE at the time. He's filling in, because normally he's usually like doing backstage vignettes with Rock, and those are just fucking classics.
If you seen JR, he said, Boomer Sooner, by God, yeah, Mick Foley won the title, yeah.
I don't think he's doing that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it sounds good.
No.
Anyways,
You did it, Mick. God damn almighty, he's the new goddamn champion.
yes, Mick Foley is your new world heavyweight champion, and you know what? This is how you close a show. My man got his ass whipped.
The ultimate
he whooped
underdog.
ass. The ultimate underdog. You don't look like you could be a world champion. You can't carry the business. But you know what? We got what we needed as fans. Because at the end of the night, the fans was hot. We seen Stone Cold. Vince was pissed off. Foley wins the title.
Goddamn, about to puke. He's the champion.
And you know what? We want to see what's going to happen next week.
What's going to happen next week?
I don't know, because we're not reviewing it. But it was a good ass finish. The undercard, it was all interesting. It'll keep you in tune. But Mick Foley winning the title, he did the damn thing.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you, Stone Cold.
Thank you, Stone Cold.
John,
What?
I know you're a Nitro guy. What you got to say about this?
Good God almighty.
I was just thinking about something here. just follow me for a moment, would you?
Yeah,
We're going to the 2003 Royal Rumble, which took place in Boston, Massachusetts. And it was a tale of two world heavyweight title matches. One was Triple H, and someone we've talked about tonight. Well, we've already talked about Triple H, and Scott Steiner for the world heavyweight title.
Yep.
Alternatively,
were you there?
I was not there.
Okay. Just
We had Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship.
Ooh.
Reverse.
So, a tale of two world heavyweight title matches, same night. Okay, not at the same time because that'd be physically impossible. But on the one hand, Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle, that was a great match.
Yes.
Okay, but was it a great match because Triple H and Scott Steiner suck so bad? You know, Mick Foley winning the title, great moment, no doubt. Big pop, no doubt. But was it as legendary of a moment because the opposing side, Nitro, was so bad?
Yeah.
No, but
Something to think about.
something to chew on, Dante, as you listen to this show and get inspired to watch the following week's Monday Night Raw, the following week's Thunder and Nitro. We're not going to review it. You can watch it and you can review it for yourself. And that's what we're here on the It Doesn't Matter podcast to do. Inspire, motivate.
And we'd love to hear your feedback on those.
Yes, guys, give us your feedback. What do you think? Was Nitro hot the whole show? Was Raw hot the whole show? What do you think? We want to hear what you have to say. Hit us up on IDM Pod, on Twitter. We on Facebook, on Instagram. Let us know.
Don't PM us.
Pause.
What?
Pause.
Don't DM us. You know, that's great if you send us a text message, but ain't no one see it but us. Tell the world.
Put
Yeah.
the world out there. Don't
The
hit me
world.
up. Like, oh my God, I like your show. Nah, let everybody know. Because I'll be the first one
You know
to
what?
respond back.
I had to turn the notifications off for so many people telling me personally how much they love the show. But we need you to tell the
We
world
need
yourself.
you to like
Tell
us.
the
We need you to
world.
follow us.
Guys, like, follow, share, subscribe. Rhode Island Broadcasting Network.
We are on the
Put
Rhode
us out
Island
there.
Broadcasting Network.
And you know what? It doesn't matter if it's positive feedback. Give us the bullshit too. You don't
Yes.
like something, huh? You don't like Dom's hat? You don't like Abel's crate? You don't like my headphones or background?
your haircut.
You don't like my haircut? You want the chops back and the gloves? I'll bring them back if you ask for it.
We are approaching 1 year soon. You might get the whole
You might
thing,
get the
full
full
circle
package.
You never know. Full
Yep.
circle. You never know.
We're gonna have the worst camera angles, the worst audio quality. We're gonna have a dog, a kid,
Nah,
Hey, man.
we
some
won't have a kid.
traffic, Kobe, the
Gundam style.
the Coleman Street crew. We'll bring back some boobies.
Producer Booby.
We're calling you out.
All right, we're just having a good time here on the It
It's a
Doesn't Matter
good time. We are
podcast.
back. It's a new year. It's a new season.
not
I said.
new season yet, Bubba.
When does the new season happen?
53.
Yeah. Let's make it 1 year, baby, and then we can talk about
We
a
gonna
new
make it
season.
1 year. We gonna make it 1 year because I have a lot of things planned out for us.
Ooh.
I have Royal Rumble planned out, and for February, Abel said, "Dom." I said, "Yes, Abel." He said, "I want to talk about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre." I said, "Well, it's on my list."
Click. Cupid throw his arrow because I'm in love with this podcast, baby.
Yes, but I can't wait until March hits, once WrestleMania season hits, because John wants to talk about WrestleMania 17 since I didn't see the whole thing in its
I
entirety.
still cannot believe you did not
Because
see
he's
that.
biding his time.
I ain't had pay-per-view. I can afford $49.99 at the time.
But you afford it now.
I have,
Bet
that,
your ass.
I have the cock. P, that is. But a little sneak peek. It's going to be WrestleMania 17. It's going to be WrestleMania 20 since John was there. It's going to be WrestleMania 27 because we were all there. And then last but not least, we might even run the April to WrestleMania season. But I'm going to tell y'all now, The streak. The Undertaker streak.
Boo.
We're gonna go 1 to 21.
Ray, do you remember that phone call?
We're gonna go 1 to 21. We're gonna go from Jimmy Superfly Snuka to Brock Lesnar.
Man's got ideas.
I got ideas. I got it. Hell, I even got June. What you want to do? I'm ready.
Pre-tape.
I'm ready.
Well, we're ready. We're almost done. Ready to close the show.
We hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of 2024.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup. We start on the Monday Night Wars. Hey, guys, if you guys want to do another Monday Night Wars, just hit me in the DMs. Like John said, the PMs. Let me know.
Don't hit them in the DMs.
Yeah, just hit us in the comments. We want to see everything.
Yes, we want to see. If you want to do another Monday Night Wars back to back, let us know.
It better be worth it, though.
It better be worth it. If not, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But until then, we will see you next week. I am the Notorious One. I am here with the Dominican Dream, Poppy Platino, and I am here with Mr. Strapfax, John. We will see you next week. Boom!